Alrighty. Here's my fucking rant, right? Here's my fucking rant. Way,
Okay.
way back, like 5, 10 years ago, there was a yo. Okay. So way, way back, like 5 to 10 years ago, right? There's a game that came out that caught a lot of fucking flack, and I mean a huge amount of flack for being so goddamn violent and advocating fucking murder and all this other shit, right? And it
Hatred.
glorified all the horrible, horrible things in the world. Yes, it was fucking hatred. It was fucking
Oh yeah,
hatred.
that's not even.
It came out in like, what was it, 2014, 2015, or whatever? And it had a bunch of
Yeah.
fucking glory kills and executions, and it was all about this guy who was like, I'm gonna fucking kill everyone. Everyone was up in arms about it, which I find funny. They were up in arms about a violent game. Doom 2016 comes out, everyone's like, yeah, this is fucking badass. Awesome. Great job, game devs. Why?
Yeah, because you're dealing with
Why?
demons.
You can argue that you were killing demons in the other game, too. There's an argument for that. What is the difference between a human being and a demon? One of them is a twisted form of the other that is entirely based as an incarnation of evil. And that would be the human. Really, for fucking real. How is it not advocating violence, glorifying violence, or whatever to play Doom, but fucking hatred because the people you're killing are humans? It wasn't even that gory or violent. There were more gory death scenes involving human beings in Doom, any of the Dooms, than there have ever been in any game that has human enemies. But Doom gets a pass because they're all possessed or twisted or killed and reanimated corpses or what have you. It goes back into this fucking remember extra credits?
Yeah.
They did a video. Why zombies are the perfect enemy. They look close enough to being human without actually being human. So you can get away with being cruel and horrible to them. And no one cares because they're zombies. But they still look like people to a degree. So you can still get that like niche filled so you can kill the people without really killing people, and it's okay because they're zombies and they weren't really people to begin with, which gets into a whole other set of fucked up bullshit that I could go on a rant about.
Yeah.
But seriously,
It's just a fucking
why
walking corpse.
why is it okay for Doom to be a complete dick and have glory kills and to actively cause you to fucking like want to kill and be violent and overly glorify all of that violence, but it's
Because
absolutely
all the enemies are
unacceptable.
pinatas now.
Like, it's absolutely unacceptable that you put a human being at the receiving end of that. Even if that human being was the worst human being alive, like, you could make an entire game that is just Doom, but you reskinned every demon to be Hitler, and people would flip their lids about how you're killing someone.
Yeah, people flip their lids over freaking Wolfenstein.
Exactly,
Killing
and
Nazis with your
you're
teeth.
killing Nazis. Who cares about Nazis?
Like the developers, you can do many things with an axe against a Nazi. And people fucking flip their lid over that. It's like,
You're advocating violence. You're the same kind of person who's gonna advocate shooting up a school and say that it's the kid's fault for not to. Fuck you. Fuck every one of you.
if
I
the
don't know.
kid wasn't already if the person wasn't already predisposed to shooting up a school, it doesn't matter. Literally, they'll find any other niche to freaking do that.
They
Like
will.
fucking
Okay,
have
so
guns, like you
here's
mentioned.
here's something. If a human being was set out, they had it in their heart, I want to hurt and kill people, they will find a way to do it.
And find every justifiable means to freaking fuel that
They
nation. It,
they will find a way. Here's a good story, right? So they ended
you,
up they ended up in a shoot. They ended up in a confrontation. They were staring down. They were trying to talk down this guy. He was armed with a fucking screwdriver. He killed 5 people. 5 random people who did nothing to this man. He killed them with a screwdriver. Another one did it with a fucking kitchen knife. Another one did it with an X-Acto knife. Another one did it with a goddamn katana. You don't need an assault weapon. You don't need a fully automatic gun to kill a bunch of people.
you
In
have to be
fact,
willing to fucking just give no shits and just start stabbing.
in fact, all you need is for the victim of your violence to be unarmed and incapable of defeating you while unarmed. Whether because you are armed or you're just physically stronger than them or what have you, it doesn't matter. You just need to have the edge up and take that advantage. Yes, that's why these psychopaths go into a school full of little kids who can't fucking fight back because if they try, they're too weak. You will never expect a kindergartner to fucking Home Alone this shit and take down the intruder who's armed and dangerous. That's not reality. Reality is that kid gets a fucking bullet to the brain and he's dead. That guy holding the gun was probably disturbed from birth to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah, these people are never either of sound mind or are just so fucking hard on for murder that they just don't give a shit.
How could you be of sound? How can a sane person logically come to the conclusion, you know what I need to do today? I need to go get my fucking gun and shoot up a school. You tell me how a sane person comes to that conclusion.
Or shoot up any place really, like freaking movie theaters full of people, anything.
What sane person comes to this conclusion that a bunch of random people who have done fucking nothing to you need to die? This is the main cause of why people in the military end up with PTSD after they go through war.
Yep.
Because this individual human being never did anything to disrupt your life. They just happened to be caught in the wrong side of a conflict. But you have to kill them. You have to. That's the way war works. I get so bent out of shape about this because it's the most illogical and stupid bullshit I have ever fucking heard. And people want it to be like, oh, well, it's this whole big thing. No, it's not a whole big thing. It really is not a whole big thing. It has never been a whole fucking thing. And tighter gun laws that make it harder for people to own guns don't stop violent gun crimes. They never have and they never will, because guess what, dumbasses out there? It's not people who get guns legally that commit violent crimes with guns. In fact, intrinsically, it's people who get guns legally that stop people who got them illegally from doing even more damage. That gets you fucked over nowadays, too. You could see someone walk into a store, shoot 5 people. You put a cap in, you put a bullet in their brain, their throat, their heart, wherever. You put them down. You go to jail for murder.
Depends on which state, but yeah.
A lot of times you will. You absolutely will. You will spend time in jail because you took out the psychopath. You killed the person. They killed many more than you did. But I guess it comes. There is a great quote from the Joker, from The Dark Knight. Harvey Dent is in the hospital. Half his face is burnt off from an earlier scene, and his girlfriend's dead. Fiance, maybe. I forget exactly the context there, but the woman he loves most in life got blown up.
They were both in separate buildings.
Yes, Batman. I know. They were in separate buildings. Batman could only save one. Yada yada yada. Point is, Harvey survived it.
Yep.
He lost half his face in it, but he survived it, and he's there in the hospital, and the Joker comes by to twist his mind even more. And as Harvey after that scene, Harvey gets up and he leaves the hospital, and after doing so, the Joker is walking away. But he said before that, in the room, the Joker goes up to Harvey and he says, "You know what's crazy? 1 million people die in a year, and that's a statistic. But you kill one person, and everybody goes nuts."
Yeah.
One guy goes into a school, shoots and kills 30, 40, 50 people. Kids included. That's a statistic. One person stands against them, puts a bullet in him. That man killed one guy, and it's a fucking travesty. It's everything. It's the most important factoid that comes out now. Where's the equality?
There really isn't.
Yeah, yeah, that's the point. That is absolutely the point. That's all I have for this rant.